creation, one who believes I'm a child of God. A holy nation, friend of the king. I'm protected and I'm loved. I'm an heir, so on the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the... Yeah. Okay, I'm one of the ones. A new creation, one who believes I'm a child of God. A holy nation, friend of the king. I'm protected and I'm loved. I'm an heir, so on the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the...
What's going on? What's going on, folks? Hey, man, listen, guys, I am so excited. I'm excited. Welcome back, guys. Listen, we're back. Another episode of the Rob Van Harris podcast, guys. Got another special guest here for y'all, guys. Y'all know what we do here, man. Real people, real stories, real strategies, real results, guys. No fluff. No fluff, guys. Real people. I repeat it. It's real people with real strategies, real stories, really out here yielding real results, guys. I learned, man, that over my years of being just in this industry and just living life, that a lot of people live wrong because they think wrong, guys. And I promise you, man, if we can change our thinking, we can change our lives, guys. And I'm a true believer, man, that if we just really start applying ourselves, man, getting in the right room, around the right people, educating ourselves, we've been told our whole lives in school and stuff like that, you know what I mean, that knowledge is power. They was telling the truth, man. You know what I mean? People truly are perishing because of lack of knowledge, guys. So what I aim to achieve here on this podcast, guys, is to bring you guys information, guys, that's going to help you to not only scale in business, but help you to scale in life. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here to do, man. I want to focus on building up the overall man and woman. I don't want to help you just to thrive in business, because we're going to do that. We're going to build up, help you to build your bank accounts and help you to build up your portfolios. But we don't want to just focus on that. Again, we want to help you to thrive in business, but ultimately we want to help you to thrive in life. So with that being said, guys, I have another special guest, guys. And before we get started, I need you guys to like, comment, share. Like, comment, and share. Help me to help you. Is somebody here that's going to need this information even more than you, right? I get the question all the time, Rob, how do I get started in real estate? Rob, my credit score is low right now, and I love these renovations that you're currently doing, man. And I promise you, once I get my credit right, I'm coming to see you. And the whole time I'm sitting there saying, well, I've been selling houses now for over 20 years, buying, fixing, and flipping, and adding properties to my portfolio, and done maybe almost every creative strategy you can think of. And I never used credit. Not one time. I never used my own credit. And that's what we're going to talk about today, guys, because we're going to go ahead and unpack and release this little secret about credit and why people think that it's just this anchor that's preventing them from being all that God created them to be, or accomplish all that God created you to accomplish. So we're going to go ahead and nip that in the bud today, guys. So for this episode, I brought a friend of mine's. Man, he's a family man. He's a father, guys. He has his own podcast. He's actually one of the hosts of Pace Morby Get Creative podcast. I had the honor of even being a guest on that show, man. This guy's amazing, guys. He's a private lender. He's in the real estate industry and been here for only maybe, I can't think, he's on his second year, going on 3 years, and he's done great exploits just within a little bit of time. And man, again, this guy is amazing, man. So many gems, so much knowledge. He has a saying that says it's all with him. It's faith, family, and food. We're gonna dive a little bit into that later in just a minute. But without further ado, guys, I would like to introduce to you guys my man, my friend, Keola. What's going on, brother?
Hello, Rob. Thanks for
Talk
having me,
to
my
me,
man.
man.
Wow, what an introduction, bro.
Talk to me,
Man,
man.
man, thank you so much. It's such an honor and a privilege to be on your show. Right? It's not a podcast, right, Rob? Rob Van Harris
It's
show.
the Rob Van Harris show now, brother. That's what we call it. We removed the podcast and we went ahead and shifted out for the show. It's the Rob Van Harris show now. And as you know what? And guys, it's a good friend of mine. Again, his name is Keola Keala, guys. I just didn't want to mess up the last name, but let me formally introduce this man, guys. He's a powerful man of a lot of knowledge, a lot of education. We're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about private lending today. We're going to dig in. And I couldn't think of no better guest to bring on than my man Keola, man. Talk to us, man. Tell the people a little about who don't know who you are, man, a little about who you are and what it is you do, brother.
Yeah. First off, I just want to give props where props are due, right? Like what you shared in the introduction about knowledge is power. I think that is key. But I think what people really got to understand, as much as knowledge is important, if you guys follow Rob, right? He said, go like, follow, subscribe. If you go watch his YouTube, go watch what he puts out there. It's not just about giving you knowledge. He's giving you the steps, the game plans, right? The path that you need, the playbooks to follow, to take action on. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't apply that with action, you ain't going nowhere, right? So if you're here with Rob, you already know what type of value he brings. If you do the things he says to go do, go follow him, go take action on the words he shares, and success is inevitable, guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. It's an honor. It's an honor to be sitting with you. Last time we sat down, we broke bread on your podcast, man. You know what I mean? To get creative, man. And we couldn't look. We ran over time and everything. By the time we got done, they had to cut that thing down. So
they did. Because you had so much to share, right, Rob? You've always got so much to share. Truly grateful to be on your show, to be able to share a little bit about my story and see how collaboration on the things that I know can help your listeners and the people that follow you, your audience.
Well, I'm a true believer, man. And before you can build an empire, you need a sturdy foundation. So let's start from the beginning. Let's lay the slab here. Right.
Yeah.
Now I know a little bit about you because not only just being we're in mastermind groups together, we're in the same community together. And as I told you, we've been on podcasts together. You originally came from the fitness industry, right? And 25 years. Right. 25 years in the fitness industry. And somewhere along that journey, you decided to cross over from fitness to real estate and private lender, right? Private lending.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that, man, and how. And a lot of people know what a lot of people say how you made the switch or what made you make the switch. What was your why? Why did you? Because you was thriving over there. I know this for sure. You was thriving over there in the business, and you made a switch. Why? What was the why?
Yeah, good question. Well, just to reiterate those things. Yeah, 25 years fitness industry. I did every single role you can think of in the fitness industry, right? My last company I was with them for 22 years, rose to the ranks. And at one point, at the height of it, I was their executive VP of operations, right? And so here I am just thriving in this industry. Our company was growing. We were at that time, we were at 55 locations through 8 different states. Wow. Right.
Wow.
But in that growth, right, in that hustle, climbing that corporate ladder comes a lot of travel, right? A lot of sacrifice, a lot of time away from the family. And, you mentioned, right, the 3 F's in life: faith, family, and food. Well, at this point in my career, I had a son who was going into his senior year of high school. He was my oldest.
Okay.
I had another son in middle school, and I had a young 6-year-old at that time. Right. And my wife was like, she came to me, tapped me on the shoulder one day. And she's like, hey, you talk about family all the time. You talk about how you spend time with your kids and how valuable we are to you. Something's got to change. We've got one more year with our son. in home, and then he's off, right? Off to college, off to doing other things. What do you want to do this final year of him in high school? Are you going to continue to be away from home every other week? Right. I was living out of airplanes and hotels and away from my family literally every other week because I was just trying to climb that corporate ladder, grow the business. And to be honest with you, I loved it, but I didn't realize the impact it was having on my family until my wife really, like any good woman does, right, takes me by the neck, sits me down and says, "Hey, something's got to change." So we had a good family discussion. And at that time, we decided that right then in my career was a good opportunity for me to pivot, to find something different that could give me a little bit more freedom to pick and choose how I want to spend my time and with who I want to spend it with. And so I put in a package to exit my company, went through a few changes, and in a couple, I would say from the time my wife pulled me down to the time that I exited, it was less than 30 days. And, I made that decision because I had to place at that time my family as a top priority, right? I had to really live by the 3 F's, one of the F's being family. And I'm so grateful that I did, because looking back at it, my son's not in our home anymore. He's off doing his adult life right now. He's actually serving God on a mission, but that last year of him being a senior was so valuable to me. I was able to enjoy the simple things that sometimes you forget when you're just in that hustle and grind mode. I was able to take my son to elementary school and pick him up and walk him to school. I've never done that before. And to just have that opportunity to hold his hand, walk with him, talk with him, it changed our relationship so much. And I couldn't imagine doing anything different. So that's the why. Like to me at that point in my life, Rob, it was my family. I had to do something different. We were in a good spot, right? We were taken care of. We were sitting at a good position in life that I could make this pivot, make this change, but I decided to go all in and make that jump.
Wow. Wow. So you was doing a lot of traveling, you know what I mean? And basically in summary, you was missing a lot of those golden years of your kids, because travel come with travel, man. It's a lot of
Yeah.
wear and tear, you miss a lot of time, you know what I mean? Just especially being in the position you was in,
Yeah.
you just decided to say, you know what? I want to lock in. Business going to be there, but family first.
Well, and to that point, right, Rob, like, my wife reminded me, right? She reminded me,
Mm-hmm.
when my son was 2, I was kissing him in the morning, heading off to work early. He was
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. I was coming home, kissing him. He was in bed sleeping.
Wow.
Right. And I
Wow.
told her, hey, just give me a couple years. I'm just going to grind it out. I'm just going to
Yeah.
hustle, grind it out. And you can always do that. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was the job. I'm saying it was me. Right. It was
Yeah.
my own personality where, like, I'm just going to grind and hustle. Like, I can go bell to bell. Like, nobody's going to outwork me mentality. Right.
Yeah.
And my wife knew I can keep saying, yeah, next year, next time, next one. But until she actually pulled me aside and say, hey, listen, you've told me this for over 12 years now.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
you still grinding, right?
Wow.
And so I was like, "You're right, honey. Something's got to change. This is on me. I'm gonna make this commitment to you and the family, and we're gonna do this."
Thank God for a powerful wife.
Oh man,
And it finds a
amen.
wife, boy, find a good thing, boy. I tell you, because I'm telling, because what you're talking on right now is a lot of what I'm about. If people that follow my journey, that follow my movement, I'm big on family, man. I'm big on it, because I realized early that we can always print money. We can't print time. You see what I mean? Like, we can always get out here, even if you go broke. And it's been a lot of times I've gone broke. I'm talking about ground zero. But I've always been able to make it back, and I've always come back stronger than ever. But those times when I was watching my kids grow, man, and the call, whether it was the call of the world or just the call of money, it was just like, I don't want to miss out on the time, more so the people that matter most in the process of the chase. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because, man, that's going to be there to hold them, to kiss them, this little oatmeal smell on their neck, that's not going to always be there. You know what I mean? And they grow so fast. Like I'm telling you, all my boys, they're all hovering over me now. But it seems like just yesterday, man, I was, you know what I mean, giving them their bottles and their pacifiers, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And to that point, right. And I want to make people hear this, right. I'm not saying that, a job's not important or the family or this or that. I'm just saying that for me at that time in my life,
Yeah,
my priorities had to change.
that's it, man.
Right. And I also look at things like it. I don't look at, hey, I need to be well balanced in life, because I feel like we set ourselves up to lose whenever we think about balance. Right. When
Come
we
on.
think about balance, people think about everything's got to be equal. Right. I need X amount of time that's equal at work to X amount of time that's equal at home. That ain't never going to be true.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's
And
true.
so
I totally agree.
yeah,
Yep.
I don't look at it as balance. I look at it, are you living your life in harmony? Right. There's times where the family's going to take a little bit more time. Job might take a back seat. Civil duties might take a priority. But if you can find what works for you, that's harmonious in your life, that things flow well, great. Live your life in harmony to your values, right? And your beliefs.
I love that, brother. I love that. Hey, guys, quick reminder. We about to talk about private lending. We about to talk about how I've sold thousands of properties, never used my own credit. We're going to talk about double closing, pass-through funding, all of the stuff that y'all always ask me. Rob, do I need a 680 credit score before I can get my first house? All right, guys, we got the money guy here right now. We got the guy that can basically help you with that right now. So one of the questions, let's go. I'm tuned in, ready to learn. Guys, comment. Let me know y'all here. Hey, family, that's what I'm talking about. Guys, bring the energy, baby. Help me to help y'all, guys. My man Keola is in the building. We about to go. Love to see this, my brother. I love it, man. I love that y'all here. I love that y'all here, man, and supporting the movement, man. Again, guys, if y'all missed the introduction, man, this guy right here, guys, he's a private lender. He's in the real estate game. He basically, you're an investor, you looking to buy property, this your guy. You need pass-through funding, this your guy. You need money for EMD, earnest money deposits, this your guy. Like, this the guy. Let me ask you this real fast, Kalo. Do you need 700, 680, 650 credit score to buy a house?
No. I mean, you said it already. You everything you bought came with no credit.
Man, we're gonna circle back and we're gonna deep dive into that.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep into that, man, because listen, you was in the fitness industry, right? And that takes a lot of discipline, that takes a lot of consistency. You hear what I'm saying? Like, how? I guess my question is, how did those lessons translate into deal making and funding strategies for you?
Oh, great question, Rob. Number one thing I can think of, immediate answer. It's all about people.
Come on.
Right? Like I tell people this, right? In the gym industry, right? Like, we grew our company big and we were a great company. Don't get me wrong. But let's be real. 5 pounds at our gym is 5 pounds at the other gym. Our treadmills go just as fast here as they go just as fast at another gym.
Yeah.
Right. The water is just as wet here as it is over there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Right. The difference is the relationships you build with people. Right. People will do business at places they enjoy being at, where they feel like their family. And so if we can have these type of relationships where people come in and, this kind of puts our age out there, but if we can give them the cheers mentality, right? Like everybody knows your name.
That's it.
But you know everything about them when they walk in your door. Building that relationship is so key to establishing a lifetime customer, right? So it's not about take your money today, never see you again. Good luck if you ever lose that weight or not. I don't care. It's about building relationships where we really care about them. We want to see you succeed. I want to not just give you a gym pass that can change your life, but I want you to bring your kid with you. I want to watch your kid grow. I want their kids to come in and let fitness at that time, right? Fitness be a part of who they are, but let us be a part of their whole family's lives, a part of who they are as well.
I love that.
It's all about relationship. And the same thing translates over into the real estate world, as you know.
Yeah. So you took those same strategies, same thing you was applying to the fitness industry world. And when you crossed over, you brought those same morals
to
this world. And that's helped you to, that's I take it that's why what helped you to scale so fast, because correct me if I'm wrong, but what, you 2.5 years in of being a private lender, funding deals and
Yeah.
everything?
Yep. Almost 3 years coming up, and done over 30 deals, right? Just lending money out there. But to your point, right? You mentioned this at the first. You have this question everybody ask you all the time, like, how do you get started? Well,
Yeah.
for me, now I went from having zero experience in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
but knowing that, okay, I could see real estate as a pathway to time freedom, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
start to look at, okay, well, who's doing what I want to do? Who are
Mm-hmm.
the go-getters out there, right? Who's doing what I want to learn
Yep.
about? And
Yep.
I found teaming up with them and then
Mm-hmm.
getting to know them, getting to know the people that they know, like, and trust, and
Yeah.
just being inquisitive, right? But bringing value, bringing help. Like, how can I help you be better? Whether I get better, whether I get money or not, it's improving my skill set, right? That knowledge piece, I need the knowledge, and seeing somebody who's doing it right, gaining that knowledge, and then teaming up with them to
Yeah.
do it is how I started.
I love that. I love that. And you know, the very thing that you're touching on, we've had so many other guests that stood where you're standing right now. And these questions come up and they asked us, like, hey guys, where do I get started? And they talked about that, relationships, guys. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's the thing about this business. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Somebody has already gone the distance. Somebody already wrote the blueprint. All you have to do is get at the table with the person who already wrote the blueprint, and find out how you can add value to that individual. So, and it's crazy because if so many great minds, man, said the same thing you just talked about. When I'm to this day, when I meet with people, Keola, that's literally what I ask them. Hey, man, how can I add value to you? How can I bring value to your business? And speaking of relationships, speaking of value, because it's one of those things that it's that subject is like, is dying, man. You know what I mean? It's all about have that me complex. You know what I mean? It's all about me, 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 me. When I be telling people, it's like, man, you would gain more by learning to be a go-giver and learning what you can do and how you can offer value to others. People will naturally want to basically come along and be a blessing unto you, because if you're truly giving without no ulterior motives, I'm just really trying to add value. And then I'm learning while I'm earning. Some people, I tell people, go sit down with somebody who already know how to do what Rob is doing, do what Keola is doing, right? And then just exit just to be a student. You can actually learn while you earn. You don't have to figure it out by yourself, man. So I 100% agree with you on that, brother. Let me ask you this. A lot of people hear private lending. They hear about the concept of double closing. They hear about all of this stuff, funding earnest money, pass-through funding. What, in your way of explaining it with simplicity, how would you specify as to how all that work and helping people who may not be as seasoned as you and I understand?
Yeah, I think, like, let's break it down a little bit, right? So, what is private money lending? Right? Private money lending is individuals that have cash that they want to deploy towards other people's deals. So Rob, you mentioned at the very start, I'm waiting for my credit score to get better. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that. Well, guys, you don't need to wait for you to get better, for you to go for you to personally earn money. You can access other people's money via private money lenders, right? And there are people out there lending on any type of deal you can think of, right? Whether it's multifamily big deals, single family deals, land deals, there are people out there that specifically want to give money to others to move deals forward. And that's what I do. Um, what I focus on right now is transactional funding, right? And so I like to always define what transactional funding is. To me, the way that we define transactional funding is simply, we call it escrow protected funding. And there are three types of deals that we're really hyper focused on right now as transactional funders, right? Rob mentioned a few of them. Number one is earnest money deposits, double closing, or what's also known as seller carryback, Morby method, or stack method deals. Those three type of deals are escrow protected funding opportunities that we deploy our capital on right now. And that's kind of one of our main focuses. So, when you think about private money lending or what it is that we do, we give money so people can move deals forward.
And way to drive it home. Let me ask you this, guys. Remember, like, comment, help us to help you guys, right? I need y'all to ask questions, right? Y'all want to talk with Keola live. Y'all want to talk with me live. Like, we even bring y'all on stage if y'all want to, but more so, guys, ask your comments, ask the questions regarding anything pertaining to real estate, right? Like, he's really telling you guys, and I know things like even some of you guys, you may be asking, what is earnest money? What double close? What is that? You know what I mean? And again, so my listeners, a lot of them, they're up and coming, right? They don't know a lot of the terminology that we utilize. So sometimes we got to step back and explain to them exactly what that look like and what it mean. So when you say utilizing private lender, you gave them a great definition as to what that look like, right? You as a private lender, what do you look for to basically be interested or even would consider funding a deal? What are the things you look for?
Yeah, good question. I'll answer that. Let me just kind of reiterate one thing that you shared, right?
Okay.
Guys, everybody has a starting point, right? Everybody was once a beginner, right? And so if you're hesitant and you're afraid, if you don't have that mindset of like getting started, realize everybody was there too, right? Kind of get over that and don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be that person that takes the first steps, because change won't happen unless you do. Right. And so I would just share that because, as your listeners are wanting to change things in their life, something's got to change there and it's got to start with them. Like you mentioned up front.
Yes. Boy, you got that motivational speech in you too. Boy, we got to get you at these events, Keola. We gonna have to get you to get some motivational speeches there. Boy, you hitting on the nose, man. I'm telling you, you hitting it right on the head of the nail, dude. Because again, we all had to start from somewhere. But I think that it's the taking action part that delays a lot of people and paralyzes a lot of people, right? It's like I talked about this a lot. Like just get out there and take imperfect action, guys. Fall forward.
Yeah.
Bump your head, get the bruises. Guess what? You learn from it all, guys. You learn from, but you won't be able to experience any of this stuff if you don't at least get started. Gotta get started, man.
Yeah, like I had a mentor of mine once that in the corporate world, right? He said his phrase was fail fast. Because the quicker you fail, the quicker you learn and you know what not to do next. But if you're always going to play that safe, you're never growing, right? So go take action, go make mistakes, go fail fast so you can get the right answer, the right system, the right process on the next one, right? Don't be afraid to fail fast, right? Like, hey, the faster I can fail, the faster I can grow, the faster I can be successful.
That's it. That's a real moment right there. That's a real moment, man. I'm telling you, fail fast. I love that because, I think, Keola, like a lot of people are looking to get in the game that we're in. Some people here, man, they just looking to buy their first house, dude. You know what I mean? They just looking to buy their first investment property. They looking to take the leap of faith and get into this game that we refer to as the real estate industry.
Right.
What would you recommend that person that's on the edge do to take the first steps and taking that imperfect action in order to get started? What would you be your recommendation?
Gisette, she said that's her, right? That's her. My recommendation would be to team up with Rob, right? Like you're here, you're listening to him because there's something that he has that resonates with you. There's something that he's doing that attracts you to him. Well, reach out to him and look at what is it that he focuses on, right? He's a big time fix and flipper. He's a big time investor. Well, if you want to learn how to fix and flip, follow Rob, right? And and everything that comes along with that process, because you're teaming up with somebody who has walked the path, right? Go find a coach. Like, it doesn't need to be a coach, but go find somebody that's doing what you want to do, right? Every professional athlete has a coach.
Yeah.
LeBron James, right? As good as he is, he's got a shooting coach,
That's good.
right?
That's
I
good.
mean, he's the GOAT. Does he really need somebody to tell him how to shoot the basketball? If you ask him, yes, he does. But if you ask a beginner, why would that guy get a coach? Well, he gets a coach because he understands that it's a professional game, and the way to get better is to have a coach to help you improve. If we could all take that same mindset and get a coach, how much better would we be in 6 months from now, in a year from now, because we're working with a coach that's going to help us develop. Don't be afraid to go get a coach.
That is so good. That is so good. That is so good. I literally that's good, man. I was saying to I was literally saying to a friend of mine recently, right? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know everything, right? You don't have to try to figure it all out by yourself. Like Gisette just now set up there and said, that's me. You know what I mean? Because I understand people, right? I know especially my audience. I know my audience. Like with me, for instance, when I first went and started doing a deep dive on creative financing and sub 2 and owner financing strategies and all of this stuff, it really was to get my own house. I wanted to learn this stuff to buy my own house, because at the time we was in a situation to where we was living in a house and the house was a hazard. The landlord was a scum landlord, and the basement kept flooding, ruined all the clothes, all my bags of clothes and stuff that we had in the basement, destroyed everything. And we kept telling this guy, hey man, this house has a lot of hazards. One being the outlets. They kept, like, when you would plug stuff in, you would see sparks and stuff would just blow out. The fuses would blow. We're like, look, this wiring in this house is wrong, man. I'm telling you now, you need to look into this, so this is going to be a problem. He never fixed it. Never fixed the basement, the flood in the basement. Never fixed the outlets. Could you believe that one day, me and my family, we decided, we was like, but we got to get out of this house. We found the house not too far from where we were staying. Went, prayed outside the house, man. Didn't have no credit. Credit was shot. Didn't have income was limited at that time, because I was doing like a little bit of investing, at that time, but I was mainly got into the traditional part. Fast forward, we ended up getting that house. And when I rolled back, maybe a couple months later, I was driving back past the house we were staying prior to that. Keola, tell me why the whole house was burnt down. I'm talking about to the ground. Burnt down completely. I said, wait a minute. I mean, I stood out there outside my car in tears, dude. Like, I cannot believe that the very house that I just lived in a few months back is completely gone, vanished. But it wasn't nothing but God's prompting, man, just telling me, like, look, man, you got to get up out of here. And not only do you got to get up out of here, you got to get your family up out of here, man, because I got bigger, I got better for you. And again, you just touched on that. You got to believe, you got to start from somewhere. You don't have to figure it all out, guys. You don't have to know it all, but take action. If I never would have took action and went and start looking for a house, no, I didn't have the perfect credit. No, I didn't make it a whole bunch of money, but I took action, man, and was able to get up out of there just in time. And some people right now are in a position to where you already know, you got the prompting. You already been, you know that it's time to go. You know that it's time to go up higher. You know that it's time to get from whatever the situation may be, that house, that job, this complacency that you've been stuck in. Why you ain't moved yet? And guys, like, God is like, I can't do another thing for you until you move. I need you to move so I can do what I have for you over here. You over here, and the blessings that I have for you to receive is over there. But you telling me, come on, God, bless me. And God is there the whole time. I already gave it exceedingly abundantly all that you can never ask or think. but you're just in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. So, man, Keola, man, let me ask you this. Just touch on it.
To that point, right, Rob? I think one of the big differences that you identified right there is you got to be humble enough to listen.
Come on.
Right? You got to be humble enough to listen.
Yes.
Whether that's a higher power, to a God, to a friend, to a mentor, to a coach. If you're not humble enough to listen to the direction they're giving and then take action, nothing's going to change. But you got to be humble enough to listen, right? You got to open up your ear to say, you know what? It's okay. I need help. I want to get better. I need help. Who can I turn to?
Come on.
Right? Whether that's God, whether that's a mentor, whether that's a coach, I got to be humble to say, I need help, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay because, not one of us is as good as all of us. Right? And when you think, if you're trying to go through this world and this life on your own, you're already doing it wrong.
Come on.
Right? We weren't created to be alone.
We are not created to be. We are not created to be alone. God, we all hear me. Y'all see me right now and Keola on the forefront. Y'all see our faces, but we both have teams in back of us, guys. Keola has one of the most popular podcasts in the game. Pace Morby, Get Creative podcast. They're killing it, man. You know what I mean? But guys, you think that he's just doing this by himself? You know what I mean? Like, to get to where I've gotten in life, right? We ain't even got to discuss numbers and all that. But people who know me, y'all know, if y'all been following my journey, y'all know I've come a long way. I think I got there by myself, guys. It's about putting the right people in the right seats. And it's about applying, not just basically having this analysis paralysis to where you're studying, and then you're taking no action, or you're listening to my podcast, or you're listening to Keola's podcast, Get Creative podcast, but you're like, oh, I resonate with that. Oh, I understand now. Private money. I don't need institutional funding to get my house. Or I don't. Guess what, guys? Let me put you on real quick. And Keola, I'm gonna let you drive this home. Guys, Keola is the type of person, you buy an investment property, right? You want to get your own house. You buy an investment property. You borrow money from him. Go get the house, right? You renovate the house. Now, let's just say you pick that property up for $200K. After you renovate the property, now let's say you put another $50K into it. So you purchased it for $200. You put another $50K into it. Now, not so much Keola, but there's a lot of lenders. I don't know. Correct me. I don't know if he do it or don't, but we're going to touch on that in a minute. But a lot of they give you the $200K, and they give you the funding to fix the house up, because it's not contingent upon you or your promise. It's contingent upon the property itself, the asset. That's where private lending coming from. They not bank it on your credit. They could care less about your credit, because if you drop the ball, guess what they're going to do? They just going to come in and take the house that's going to be worth $500,000 after it's fixed up. So again, let me drive this home. $200,000 you buy the house, $50K you fix it up, and then you go to a Bank of America, a Bank of Chase, a Bank of Wells Fargo, and then that's what we call institutional funding. They will then give you 75 to 80% of what that property is worth. Okay, so somebody tell me, what's 75 or 80% of $500,000, guys? 75 to 80. Somebody put it in the chat for me. So we got 200 we purchased the house for. We put 50 into it. Now it's worth 500. We go to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo going to give us 80% of 500,000. What's that? Wait, guys. While y'all typing that in, I'm just going to go ahead and give y'all the number. I know it's somewhere around 400,000. So guess what, guys? 400,000. There it is. I guess it was a little delay. Even that, or y'all bad with math. So 400,000, right? Now, guess what? You pay off the 200. You pay off the, there y'all go. You pay off the 200. You pay off the 250, right? And now guess what? You can either you could put that other 100 in your pocket, that other 100, in this case, 150 in your pocket, right? Or you could just go ahead and just take out what you need to clear the debt. Now, guess what, guys? You have a whole property that you could do whatever you want with it. You want to turn it into a rental property. You want to rent out, you take one room, you rent out the other bedrooms. You want to, is a duplex. You live on one side, you rent out the other side. But guys, that's just one way that you can utilize this man and when he say private lending, this is how investors like me utilize these strategies to thrive. Keola, help me drive that home, man.
I think one of the biggest things, right, and it's just the way that a lot of us are raised, right? A lot of us were raised where I got to go earn this money, put it into my bank account, have it all saved up. And when I earn all this money, now I can go buy what I want, right? And that's old institutional mentality. In today's world, and how the people who've got money are doing it is they're leveraging their money. They're borrowing money, right? Even if they have it, they're still borrowing the money to go get it because they'd rather use other people's money and move on more deals at once. Because if you're only using your own money, you can only do so much with it. But once you learn the value of raising that capital by using other people's money, now your deal flow is limitless, right? And so, that's a mental change that a lot of us have to learn to address, and then go out there and start taking big action. You don't need to have the credit. You don't need to have the money yourself to go purchase and take big action like Rob's talking about.
To become a homeowner. Keola, take that question there. Get the answer to that question.
Do you need good credit to become a homeowner? The simple answer would be actually, no, you don't. We've got people that are owning homes with zero money out of their pocket with horrible credit. It's just what strategy they utilize to purchase that home. And there's so many ways out there to buy a home, as Rob mentioned. And if you connect with Rob, he can tell you 100 different ways that he purchases properties with no credit. Not that he has bad credit, he just doesn't need to use it.
That's true. Walk us through the stack method. You made mention of it earlier. What's the stack method? What it is, and why do it work?
Yeah, stack method is a creative seller financing strategy where investors can purchase homes with little to no money out of their own pocket. Right. So as an example, Rob, you go after property that you want to use to, just produce rental income, or you had a fourplex you're buying, right? And let's just use flat numbers, right? Like 500,000 is what the property purchase price is. But you're like, okay, well, how do I purchase this property without using a lot of my own funds?
Correct.
Well, the stack method is a way that you can approach the seller and have a creative strategy where they're willing to seller finance the deal with you. Right. And what it is you got this good property. It's worth 500. You go get a DSCR lender that's going to approve you for, call it, like, we'll use your numbers, right? 80% of the purchase price. So DSCR is willing to bring 400 of the deal to the table. And they're asking you to bring 100 of the deal. Right? To purchase the property. Well, instead of bringing 100 out of your own pocket, you go ask a seller if they're willing to seller carry that 100 post closing after the deal to purchase the property. Right? And so to simplify it, that 100 isn't liquid right now. So you can't actually close on the deal with the DSCR 400 and your seller 100 because that's not liquid. You still need somebody like myself who's a transactional funder to step in and actually provide that cash to close. So I bring 100, DSCR brings 400, properties purchased for 500. Now, how am I paid back as a transactional funder? Well, that's paid back. I'm paid back because the seller is carrying the 100. So their equity pays me out at closing. And now you as an investor, you're able to now purchase and step into this property with zero money out of your own pocket. You got a DSCR lender that paid for 400. You got the seller that's carrying the 100, and I came in and stepped in with my 100. Nothing out of your pocket. You now got a property in your name that you're working on positive cash flow.
Love that. What's double
Right.
closing? And no, let's answer this first. Take that question, Keola. Take that question right there.
Zach Bills asked the question, what's liquid? Good question. Liquid is another way to say that you have cash right now available, right? Liquid means like if you look in your bank account, whatever is there is typically liquid, right? You can access that cash ready to go. That's what liquid is available cash.
You pride yourself in like people over profits, right? And the industry that we live in today, to where it's all about the numbers. If the numbers don't make sense, you know what I mean? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I guess my question to you is like the mindset that shaped your approach in that, and to basically putting the people first, man. Like, how does that translate with the what? So when you because a lot of times people, again, people, they want to get into this industry, they just don't know how. You're a people person. You're about the people. How they can help? Well, I guess my question is, how can they help you to help them?
Yeah, good question. So for me, it's all about transformative relationships over transactional ones,
Mm.
right? Like it's not just about are we exchanging dollar in every transaction, but are we transforming each other's relationship, right? Going with that go-giver mentality as you mentioned,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even if I look at it like, let's be honest, guys, not every deal pencils out, right?
Yeah.
Like Rob knows this. Not every deal pencils out, but it doesn't mean that the relationship has to end there, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'll talk to borrowers of mine and say, hey, you know what? This deal doesn't look good to me for this reason. But for us to fund, if this were true, how can we help? Like, what can we do to change it up? Or what? Let me introduce you to somebody who may fit this lending criteria for you, right? It's not just like, doesn't work, see you later, or hey, thanks a lot, give me my money.
Yeah.
It's
Good.
all right. Let me show you the back end of our system. Hey, if when you come and do deals with me and you're new, I want to open up, give you a peek behind the curtain. What do you want to learn in this process? Let me help you understand each step of the way, why we said yes, why we said no, why are we asking this question, what are we looking at on this contract. I want to give you visibility to every step of the way so you can go do it on your own, so you can learn and grow, right? It's about us learning and growing together, not just hoarding it to myself.
Man, that's why I brought that up, because I know you're a true go-giver to the depths of your soul. And I'm telling you guys, hear me clearly, you're not going to find too many people that's willing to do that. Not in today's time. Y'all know this. It's all about what you could do for me. Take. It's nobody. He just now said that if it don't even pencil out on paper, he's still willing to find. If he can't fund the deal, he could put you in at another table of someone that probably could fund the deal. And not only that, he will basically go in depth with you and show you as to why it didn't pencil out, why the deal wasn't basically why the deal wasn't funded by his company, right? Which lender this one be like, yeah, not only am I going to deny you, right? Like, we denied you, but let me explain to you and give you the rules and regulations as to why we denied you. Let me give you the step-by-step as to what you need to work on and the things you probably need to pay attention to when bringing the next deal to us. No lender is doing that, guys. Wells, y'all know this. Wells Fargo, Chase, and I mean, those bankers, they ain't going to do that with y'all. They just going to say denied.
Right, and to that point, right, Rob? Like,
Mhm.
like if I can educate people that I work with on what are our parameters, what do you look at, then to your point, like you just mentioned, then the next deal they bring will be that much better.
Come on.
right? Because they're
Come on,
educated now. They know
come on.
exactly what our parameters are. And in fact, I like to give people my full checklist. Like, hey, if you need EMD, here's my EMD checklist. Hey, if you need double close, here's my double close checklist. Hey, if you need stack, let me give you a form that explains what stack method is for free, because the more you know, the more we can go, right? And I don't like to hold those things back. Like, I want you to know every step of the way what's coming next, because if you know the play, you know where to run, and if you know where to run, we're scoring.
Come on, come on, man. Let me ask you this, because I know family play a major part in your life. Family plays a major part, man. Beautiful family. I think you have
Three
three
boys. Yeah.
kids, three boys, right? Yeah, man, three boys. One of your kids even have a business, right?
Yeah.
K-pops, something like
Yeah, we
that.
chatted about that, right? I
Oh,
love what your
yeah,
boys are doing. What you doing with them, bro? Yeah.
I remember that. Man, when you talked on it, you talked about it a little bit earlier, right? Like balance. How do you still, how do you balance all of this, man? Running a business and still being present for your family, building wealth and still being a father to your children, a husband to your wife. The balance part. What do that look like for you?
Yeah, I wish I could give you a good answer, but I'm working on it, right? It ain't perfect, right? Like, and I'm not perfect at this, but I'm trying, right? And so what I would say is, when you're looking at, creating better harmony in your life, or those things that matter, make sure that you calendar it out and put it in your calendar, right? Like, uh, once again, aging myself, like, you remember when Kodak first came out, right? There was a commercial about, you know, capturing and creating Kodak moments, right? Like, you can't just have it be spontaneous, which is good. You have to plan for it, right? So in my calendar, I calendar out everything that I do every step of the way, even calendaring time on, okay, here's 30 minutes. When I get done with work, I'm going to turn off my phone and just be present. Here's where my kids are at, and here's how I'm going to be there for them. Here's where I'm waking up, and it's going to be my me time. Here's time with my wife. Like, all those things, if you calendar it out, you're more likely to keep it, right? If it's not in your calendar, it's not written down, it's probably not happening, and you're just kind of living by the seat of your pants.
My saying is, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. Simply put, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. What books, what podcasts outside of our own do you recommend, that's inspired you, that's made an impact in your life, that you would recommend to the audience to find out more about what we're talking about,
Yeah.
private lending and things like that, or real estate?
Yeah, I would say two books stand out to me. The first one is the book Who Not How, right? And it's not just a real estate book. It's a book that really helps you identify the fact that people are important, and it's not about uh what you know, but who you know, right? And if you can team up with the right people, find the who, the hows all follow, right? So that's one book I would highly encourage you guys to read, Who Not How. And then the other book, I think I might have it here. Nope. Nope. But grow the Wealth Book with Pace Morby. That's a good book that outlines creative structure, private money lending, and all that he does.
Man, and guys, just so you know, if y'all here, I'm pretty sure y'all follow my movement, man. Y'all know that creative financing changed my life, man. Once I added those tools to my tool belt, outside of just being a fix and flipper, outside of being a traditional real estate agent, when I added creative financing to my tool belt, that's what really took me over the moon, guys. You know what I mean? Kalo, man, it's been so good, so good, so good. We got to get ready to land this plane, man. We got to get ready to land this plane, dude. It's so much, because I know you and I could go for another hour.
Oh,
Easy,
easy, easy.
easy, easy. Let me ask you this. We talked about private lending, double closings, how people can basically get with people like you, and it don't matter if they have bad credit, sad credit, high credit, low credit, don't matter. Bring a good deal. You guys are fun to deal. How would that investor, how would that person even know to to know if you as a private lender, right, is even something that they want to present to you? How would they know that that deal is something that they even will want to even present to you as an opportunity?
Yeah, good question. I would say you don't know until you go, right?
Come
Like
on,
you don't know until you go.
come
Like,
on.
don't be afraid to bring every deal you got. Like, you don't know until you take action on it, right?
Yeah,
You don't even know what a good or a bad deal was when you're first getting started.
that's so true.
I was there,
So
right?
true.
But luckily, I wasn't afraid to just bring that deal to somebody that I trusted and say, "Hey, I'm looking at this lead. Is it a deal?" Right? And they're able to break that down for me. And we do the same, right? We do the same.
Where can they follow you at? What's your IG, your Facebook? You know, tell where can these people follow you at, man, to be able to come and borrow some of that money from you?
Yeah, the best place to follow me is on IG, Keola_Keala at IG.
Yes.
There are all my links, all my free things that I give away, all the checklists I talked about, and a website that explains exactly what it is that we fund on.
And I think the question, JZ, and let me know for a school and a dance studio. What if you already have a blueprint? Okay, so you will be looking to fund a school or a studio. Now, just know that these lenders. Now, when we talked about that, JZ, so if you're looking to fund it utilizing Keola's cash, you short-term funding. So you would need to go in, you have the blueprint, fix it up. And then we talked about that earlier. Then you want to take it to a Bank of Wells Fargo, Bank of Chase, and then you want to go ahead and do what's called refinance that studio, that dance studio. And then they will come in, and that's more so like a commercial loan as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kayla. That's more like a commercial, right?
That would be a commercial loan. I would just say, when you say blueprint, let's make sure we know exactly what we're talking about. Are you talking about the blueprint for the studio layout? Or are you talking about your blueprint for success? Like you already have the steps that you need to take for that studio purchase.
Yeah, good question.
If not, then I would DM Rob, DM myself, or DM somebody that you trust to outline what are those steps. I've got this property that I'm looking at. Here's what I know about the property.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are those next steps, right?
Yeah,
Outline that blueprint first.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Man, my brother, my friend, thank you. Thank you for
Oh man,
joining me
thank
tonight,
you, Rob, for having me on your amazing show with your
man.
active people, man. I love your audience. They're chiming in, they're dropping comments,
I
right?
told you,
They're like
dude.
following your every movement, man. They're engaged.
I see you, Gisette. I see you, Tim. I see you, Zach. I see you, Kat. I see y'all, man. Listen, guys. Look, we're gonna go ahead and send our friend on. You know, man, he gotta get back to his family, man. I want to always be a respecter of a man's time. Kayla, I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you so much for joining me, brother. Thank you so much, man, for just coming in here and breaking bread with me, man. Until we meet again, I see you at one of the mastermind meetups soon. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir.
And we're gonna do it, man. Thank you so much, brother. Honestly, man. Thank you.
Mahalo, Rob. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. I'll see you in a minute, man. Hey guys, with that being said, man, as you can see, another powerful gem packed with just gems, guys. Episode. Another phenomenal episode, guys. I mean, no more excuses. Cause I don't want y'all coming to me next week talk about some Rob. I'm gonna come get with you when I get that 800 credit score. No more excuses. I don't want you calling me talk about some I'm looking to buy this property, but I don't know where to start. Guys, I can help you to fund your deals. I just brought up a friend that can help you to fund your deals. It's so many people that will fund. That's how they make their money. You just find the deal. And when you find the deal, the money will come. Okay? But just focus in on what it is you're looking to ultimately accomplish. Stop sitting there and letting fear paralyze you. Get out here, do the work, take imperfect action, guys. As I tell you all the time, I live my life based off of that quote right there, man. This podcast, it was mistakes made throughout this podcast. Y'all probably didn't know, but it was mistakes made throughout this podcast. Imperfect action, right? It's so many mistakes that I still make, right? And here's somebody that buy anywhere between 5 to 8 properties a month. I still make mistakes to this day, guys. But every mistake make me better, make me wiser, make me stronger. And it makes me a better leader, guys. It makes me better for you guys to be able to come and share my wisdom with you all, because I'm not just somebody that's just sitting up here talking because I have lips, right? I'm really here to help. I'm really here to add value. I'm really here to be an asset to your movement. So with that being said, guys, let's continue to go and grow. Till then, I'll see y'all on the next video. Let's get it. God bless.